Okay, it's a pleasure to introduce Professor Juan Antonio Campos.
Thank you very much. Two things before I start. First thing, I'm very pleased to be here in Helsinki. I found a very nice city with full of warm people, and I am very pleased to be here. I think I speak on behalf of my college also. All of us coming from Spain. We are very pleased to be here. And the second thing is, apologize for my English. It's not very good. It's not good enough. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to speak about a special site, a mine site in our area. It is about it's called Sanctity Mines, and it's a very special site. Is a site started by the mining processes in so long in the 20th century. It was abandoned for 50 years. And although all research is focused or aimed in restoration, we hope this site never get restored because it's our precious outdoor classroom for take our students and to teach how the soil developed and the relationship between the substrate and the plant cover is a very special site. And as you are know now, it is, I think, is very valuable for us as a teacher. Well, the research we have brought here is divided into three branches. First, on the one hand, the microbiological activity explained before by my colleague, Pablo Higueras. And the other hand, the physiology behind the resilient plants that live in this precinct, there is explained in a poster. And the topic of my speech is the natural colonizing of this area. My colleague previously have explained where it's located, this site. I don't want to enter it, there's more specification. It's in the center of the Iberian Peninsula, and it's close to our city, Ciudad Real, the city of Don Quixote de la Mancha. And it's 1 square kilometer of an area. And it's very nice site for the study the relationship between the substrate and the plants. Well, what is the Sanctity present? It's a 15 years long abandoned mine site with different started substrate composed by regolith material from metals of fine mine exploitation. This is what is the mine Sanctity. What do we have? A mosaic of different substrate naturally colonized by plants, by specialist plants, able to endure the harsh condition of the environment. And also is a perfect place to study the relationship between the plant cover and the substrate and soil development. What are the key factors of the zone? The key factors are a rainfall regime of about 400 millimeters per year, a 5 months long, dry, hot summer in the Mediterranean area is a factor to take into account. And a regolith substrate, also fine minerals rich in heavy metal. A regolith is a substrate, mineral substrate without organic matter, without nutrient, it's only mineral. It's a material coming from the processes of extraction and all the processes of the mining activity that are very diverse. Okay. How are we going? Oh, I left one. What do we want? To gather knowledge about the pattern of natural colonization, to gather knowledge about the pattern of soil development, and to gather knowledge about the plant physiology behind the resilience of the plants who live there. How are we going to gather information? Under the criteria and the methodology of landscape function analysis proposed by Donway and Hell in 2005. It's a very nice methodology to address this trouble in mine exploitation and to recovery of mine sites. This analysis, this functional analysis, are focused in the resources, how resources are generated in the ecosystem or in the landscape, how resources are kept, how resources are lost, and finally, we have to establish if the environment, if the ecosystem is functional or dysfunctional. See if he has functionality or dysfunctionality. Functionality when he goes toward sustainability. Dysfunctionality when he goes through erosion and totally destruction of the environment. Well, in LFA methodology, there are serious steps. Step 1, setting geography. Step 2, characterizing landscape. This case is the topic of my speech because we started last year this study. We are progressing and we think that this study will last at least 5 years. We are just beginning. And finally, LFA soil indicators is for next year we are going to do. The topic of my presentation and to characterize the biodiversity in the plant cover. Well, we have here a picture taken from Google Earth, and the first we can see is the place, the area, is a mosaic. It's a mosaic of different substrates, different material. And all these patches, all these color refer to a particular substrate. And when we get close to these particular patches, we find that there are a different ecosystem or different plant association. Very special plant, how I'm going to know now. In this area, we have discriminated 5 zones. And we have discriminated 5 zones with thick brush stroke. Outline, because if we enter in more detail, we will discriminate a lot of more different substrates. But in a sketch, in a general sketch, we have discriminated 5 zones. Zone 1 and 2 are deposits of the minerals washed by the, after ground. The mineral was extracted, was ground, was washed, and the sludge was deposited in these 2 zones. The zone 1, coarse sludge, sand-like material, and the zone 2, fine sludge, fine material like silt-like material. The zone 3 is not defined by an area, a determined area, but it's defined by conceptual. Because the zone 3 is when the original topsoil is make a mixture with the mineral or the material coming from the processing of the mine. We can find this particular environment in all the area, okay? And then 2 more zones, very, very specific zones. Zone 4, gangue deposits, is the material not ground to the extraction of mineral, not ground, it was deposit, but it's very rich. It's very rich in the minerals, the sulfide minerals, and it makes huge piles of material. And finally, zone 5, the acid drainage is very interesting under the point of view of the plant there, because it's a plain zone affected by the acid drainage of the material above. Okay? Now we are going to, what I'm going to do is the characterization and to highlight the peculiarities of each of the zone. Okay? Zone 1, the zone 1, the course of Amsterdam is very well defined. Sorry. Here, we can see the zone is 5 meters high with an inclination of 5%. This is the lower zone. The lower zone is colonized by Phragmites australis. That is a plant normal in shallow waters. Phragmites australis is very common. And the aspect of this zone is like a desert of sand, with no vegetation, only scattered individual of maybe Sphaeria incana or maybe another plant, but very rare. The aspect of the zone is like a desert. And the lower zone are colonized, what you can see, by Phragmites australis. Okay? This is the same zone, and this is the embankment, the slopes that makes the deposit of this material. It's very surprising why this species, sorry.
Juan, there's just 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left, okay. It's very surprising because these slopes are colonized by only one species, Scrofularia canina. And we can see, we don't know why these species prefer these slopes. And we have here the Pitapteromidaceae that don't colonize the slope. I have to be very quick. The zone 2 is fine sludge. There are no water infiltration, the water is accumulated, and there are more biodiversity. Well, I have to be very quick. Here we are in the zone. There are a part colonized, another part eroded, and we can see here rhizome of Phragmites australis and earth by the erosion. We can see the erosion. We can see how it's colonized by bloom, by Retames sphaerocarpa. We can see a base of Retames sphaerocarpa. And it's very, very interesting how Retames sphaerocarpa capture resources of the environment. And we can see in this picture how in taking advantage of this capture of resources, nutrient and soil, can appear other species of the plant. The same zone, we can see the accumulation of salts, of sulfate. The transition zone is the zone with more biodiversity. We are going to, because the conditions are softened. In this zone, is formed by patches of xerophyte annual plants, and especially perennial plants, bloom, the Retames sphaerocarpa, and as xerophytes, Biscutella auriculata is in the fringe of the zone. The zone 4 in Camp deposit is completely bare of vegetation. There are only a scattered individual of Specularia purpurea. We can see here the efflorescences in the surface, in the surface of the gravel, the crystallization of sulfate. And we got a picture of the Camp deposit, completely bare. It seems like a desert, seems like a marsh. Another picture of the Camp piles. And the most interesting zone, the zone 5, the acid drainage. You can see here how the trail comes to the plain and the effect on the vegetation. And it is a pond, a little pond in the base of the Camp piles. And the most important or the most remarkable thing I have to say is that when I go to this place, we saw Specularia purpurea was the most adventurous plant near the core of acid drainage. When we approach, when we get close to these patches, we realize there were two species. One species, even we cannot see this species because it's very, very, very ethereal. It's like invisible. It's a grass of the species Molinariella levis. It's here we can see it. We can see it because it's very difficult to. It's very difficult to make a photograph. We can see the association between the Specularia purpurea and Molinariella levis. Here we have pictures about how the pH in this zone are affecting and how the plant are taking distant location in relation with the pH. We have here this zone, how the water fall and how they make the rills, and how the rill when you get the plain overflows and affect all the plain. Here we have how the water is affecting all this part, and when this part is not affected, it create island of vegetation. It's very interesting, this picture, because we have here the Campos piles, the rails coming from the Campos pile, the acid drainage. This is the current of the rails. And in blue, we have the line of vegetation. The vegetation goes through this part because from this part, the vegetation can endure the condition imposed by the acid drainage. We have here a patch of the Specularia purpurea and Molinariella. The other species very common in this part during acid condition is Rumex bucephalophoros. And a table about the species occurrence in the 5 zones with the peculiarity of this in the zone 5, the acid drainage with Molinariella levis, Rumex bucephalophoros, and Specularia purpurea. This grand triangle, if you are familiar with this kind of terminology, is about the strategies. It's a triangle about with the explain the 3 different strategies of plant. You can see that our species in this area are in this position, mid ruderals, mid stress tolerators. And the perennial plant we can see only, to be quick, as Retamas floricarpae, the most important perennial plant in order to have sustainability of the environment, because it is a plant that preserves and captures a lot of resources. And two things for before the end. This is a hypodermic in the middle of the area, and is colonized by a species totally absent in the rest of the area. We can see here Conifa canadensis, we can see here Lactuca, we can see here Senecio, we can see here another species totally absent in the rest of the area. Is very didactical. Is a very didactical picture. And finally, the last one. Finally, okay, it's very interesting, this image, because we have here xerophytes that are linked to the rainfall, very linked. If rain, they progress, and if no rain, they are the population are less dense. And when the conditions are good, the capture of resources made by this xerophyte permit the thrive of a perennial plant that has more importance in order to have sustainability. That's all. Thank you very much.
I'm afraid there's no time for questions.
Thank you.
Someone is interesting with what.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you, Juan. I'd like to ask the next speaker now. Sorry, we have no time for questions. Okay. So the next talk.
We don't have.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Come on, it's interesting.
Let me consult the chair. Elias, do we have time for a question?
Okay, we compromise. We have one very short.
One quick question.
What you showed, it's interesting. Is that? It's not? It's not. In any case, some basic question. Let's go to the basic. It's perhaps linked to the water capacity of the soil.
The water capacity of the
Yes.
soil? Yes.
And also to what you have in
Yes.
toxicants or the metals and
Yes.
so on.
I have measured the water capacity, the texture, I have measured a lot of things. In this case, there are different zones. If we are talking about the first zone, is 100% sand. Is, the infiltration is total. There are not possibility for the soil to capture the water.
There's no tools.
Okay, it's sand, and there are a lot of infiltration. In the zone two, it's very interesting because the silt-like material is completely impermeable, and the water falls, remains in the surface, evaporate year by year by year by year, and 1 year, another year, I create a crust of salt. And you have this in this point, and in this point you haven't. For this reason, it's a very nice place to study, because you have it in a very little area, very different, with very different plants.
Multi.
Yes, it's very interesting. I invite you to visit this place.
Yeah,
What is the mind? Just around.
I think many of us would like to come there, but we don't have time now. No direct flight now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.